welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. This is a new week and we are glad and happy in it. So I wish you the best in this week that we entered. Now we have several things that is up for discussion this Monday, and it will interest you that several people are reacting to the issues that about Chief Bola Tinubu's old drug matter. The criminal case that we have been talking about finally resuscitated again. And of course, we are hearing reports coming out from the United States that it seemed, this is a presumption, that the US President Donald Trump, in his quest for transparency and for Nigerian people to get validation on what they were seeking against Chief Bola Tinubu on the issue of his investigation on the drug matter, has finally, the District Court of Columbia has handed down an order last week rejecting all the other U.S. government agencies outside of the CIA, all their attempts to withhold Chief Bola Tinubu's document under the so-called global response failed. And the court ordered that Chief Bola Tinubu's files with DEA, the FBI, must be released. As you know, or maybe you don't, the global case is referred to as where agencies does not is either deny or accept that there such document exists. Now, the claim that the global response were necessary to protect Chief Bola Tinubu's criminal record from public disclosure is at this very point neither logical nor plausible. That is coming from Judge Howell, who ruled, affirming that both the FBI and the DEA failed to justify their refusal under the Freedom of Information Act. Now, the case, as you know, was initially, raised by Aaron Greenspan, the American transparency advocate and founder of the plainside.org, who filed a lawsuit in collaboration with David Undein in June of 2023 after submitting 12 Freedom of Information Act requests to various U.S. law enforcement and intelligence agencies. These requests sought by David Undein and Aaron Greenspan sought details of a federal investigation into a heroin trafficking network allegedly involving Chief Bola Tinubu and others, including people they mentioned there was Abiodun Agbere, Moaz Akende, and Lee Andrews, who is a distributor, according to the report. Now, Greenspan's Freedom of Information requests were earlier denied by the FBI, the DEA, the Internal Revenue Service, the Department of State, the Executive Office of the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Central Intelligence Agency, all which invoked global responses. Well, in this lawsuit, as we know, Greenspan argued that the agencies had improperly withheld information of Chief Bola Tinubu with significant public interest. He also cited verified complaints filed by the U.S. Department of Justice in 1993, seeking the forfeiture of $460,000 in funds linked to Bola Tinubu, who is now the president of Nigeria, of which the U.S. government alleged were proceeds of drug trafficking. Come out from us. But I will get you to the part where even they said that they agreed that such exists. Now, the court documents included an affidavit by Kevin Moss, which is a special agent of the IRS as at that time, who detailed the activities of heroin ring operating in Chicago area. The affidavit indicated that Chief Bola Tinubu was being investigated in connection with financial transactions that allegedly laundered proceeds from narcotics trafficking. Now, this is what the court said. There is probable cause to believe that funds in certain bank accounts controlled by Chief Bola Tinubu were involved in a financial transaction in violation of U.S. laws and represent proceeds of drug trafficking. That was what Agent Mo stated in that sworn affidavit. Now, the same affidavit was tied to Tinubu, to Muazzar Kande, to Abiodun Agbere, and the rest of them. Now, in response to the FOI lawsuit, Chief Bola Tinubu intervened in October of 2023, citing privacy concerns and objecting to the release of confidential tax records. Tinubu came and said, no, please, and it was a case. But at the end of it, they were able to push it down. Now it has been resurrected under Trump, and that's why some people are saying that Trump is now acting. However, Judge Howell ruled that the public interest in understanding the records surrounding Nigeria's President Tinubu involvement outweighed the privacy interests claimed by Chief Bola Tinubu. He said that the public interest in learning about a sitting president's possible connection to a major drug investigation is undeniably significant, the judge said. Although the CIA has successfully gone out of this with the court ruling, but the Greenspan failed to show agency had official knowledge. However, DEA and ABI have been ordered to produce this. And let's get the reaction of Chief Bola Tinubu through his people now. As you know, just yesterday, Bayo Ononuga, not being quiet again about this whole thing, you know, one that has to deal with the drug-related issue, which I want to talk about now. Now, Bayo Ononuga said that journalists have sought the presidency's reaction to the ruling last Tuesday by a Washington, D.C. judge ordering the U.S. FBI and DEA to release reports connected with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Our response is as follows. There is nothing new to be revealed. The report by Agent Moss of the FBI and the DEA report have been in the public space for more than 30 years. The report did not indict the Nigerian leader. You know, talk saying Oga, the Nigerian leader. The lawyers are examining the ruling. This is coming from Chief Bola Tinubu. Well, obviously, Chief Bola Tinubu has here brought us back to the issue of the drug matter. Now that they have responded, because taking out to Kelvin Moss, who was explicit on his affidavit that there was Tinubu was involved in a drug related investigation, and he was involved in series of drug trafficking. But let's get what people are talking about this. People are now responding to Chief Bola Tinubu. They said, would you mind clarifying the issue? Because they ended their tweet in a very quiet light. So let's have that tweet again. The reaction of people. This is already, but he said, would you mind clarifying why your boss forfeited $460,000 US? I would appreciate a more detailed explanation. Senior servant, MAGA to Druggy. It will not, but the information will reveal to the world how your president was reportedly linked to narcotics trafficking, leading to the forfeiture of $460,000, later returned to the U.S., to the Nigeria to contest. Okay, you later returned to contest a Senate position, use remaining narcotic funds to sponsor Nadeko against the Abacha government. This is coming from Oladipo. Let's take another reaction from the from that very post. We have this from Ben Samuel. Say, we are already aware of the FBI drug allegation. This is not new, as you rightly pointed out in the same Just Society. Let's take the one of this Ben Samuel, please. We are already aware of the FBI drug allegation. This is not new, as you rightly pointed out. That is talking to Onanuga now. In the sane and just society, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not have even made it past the screening page to contest for the highest office. Yet, despite all these revelations about his past, he is still expected to deliver results. Meanwhile, the citizens are hungry, corruption and impunity run rampant across the nation, and we strongly disagree with Sheyi's claim that his father is the best president. Idris Abdul Karim was absolutely right in his banned song. His song still rings true today. It is not too late to correct the course. Bola Ahmed Tinubu still has 2 years left. Let him lead from Abuja and not from France. So we have so many comments, reactions of Nigerians on this. But talking about the France, now that they have mentioned France, if our producer will oblige me with what we have on France. So many people are tweeting that Bola Tinubu did lie to Nigerians about going to France on official duty. And in as much as that doesn't mean official or being sick, some people say he had lied to Nigerians. But let's take a look at what Sam Amadi said as regards to this very France matter. Several people are commenting on it. Some people actually said that Tinubu was very ill and went there. Now, there's no problem about going there. But the problem they have is, why would Bola Tinubu be in France? And then the president of France went out to Egypt or somewhere. Who did he went to see? And some of the pictures that are actually coming out from there is showing him having a meeting with somebody from the US, whom they described as somebody who has a position of less than a director in a ministry in Nigeria. So much issues are. He said the presidency has observed that there are so many billboards. With dismay, the increasing number of billboards in some cities promoting the 2027 campaign for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kassim Shettima. What's noting is that some of these billboards with pictures of the president and his wife, Senator Uremi Tinubu, emblazoned on them are springed up in Abuja and Kanu in particular, while President Tinubu and the one of Shettima greatly appreciate their teaming and royal support across the country for their enthusiasm and continued support. The two leaders do not support any campaign that breaches the law of the land. The electoral law that guides conduct of election and political campaigns forbids any of this. All this grammar way by Onanoga they talk here. It is very clear for them to send a director, at least for the one of Abuja, they would have removed it as at the moment they say they noticed it. They don't have to come and make a public statement out of it or go on Twitter to talk to Nigerians about what they can do, especially in Abuja. Hypocrisy is not, I don't know how to describe it, but you can go to comment section and tell us what you think about all of this. One, that Chief Bola Tinubu did lie to Nigerians of going to France for an official visit. Meanwhile, evidence is showing that it's not an official visit. Go to comment section, tell us what you feel about this. Then again, we want you to also look at the issues surrounding these very election campaigns that are going across the country. Why wouldn't have Chief Bola Tinubu and his led administrators, you know, call up the agency? There are agencies that are in charge of billboards. Billboard doesn't spring up. You must go through certain processes before your billboard will even be hanged in any location in Nigeria. And they are in charge of the federal regulatory bodies. So why are they coming out to tell us that they are not aware of these very billboards or even the campaign that was publicly said to have started in Edo State? Go to comment section, tell us your take. Then we go back to the issue of the heroin case. Some of us might say it has gone, it is no longer of any moment. But we need closures. We keep talking about closure. If you note, in November of 2024, there was a report that the U.S. law enforcement agency did invoke the global response over requests seeking this criminal investigation document concerning Chief Bola Tinubu and others. This follows numerous Freedom of Information Act requests by Aaron Greenspan, who is, by the way, not a Nigerian. And he sent to CIA, DEA, the Executive Office for the U.S. Attorneys, Department of State, Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue, so many in this very District of Columbia in the United States. Now, this request by one person who is not a Nigerian is seeking for Nigeria to be better. And the request sought criminal investigative documents concerning third parties. Chief Bola Tinubu, Lee Andrews, Edward, Mwaza Kande, some of them late now, by the way. But what do we really want about this? Closure. Let the Nigerians understand that this did happen and that their president sitting right now was a drug pusher, or as the case might be. Maybe that is what Nigerians need, closure. So for Bayo Ononuga to come at this very point and say this has been over the news for 30 years, it can be over the news. Even our own children, they will come out and they will still read it because internet does not lie. Now, remember also that the agencies insisted that giving out this information on Chief Bola Tinubu could cause damage to U.S. national security. That was when we said that that Chief Bola Tinubu, being Nigerian president, is an asset to the U.S. government. But it seems that Donald Trump doesn't find that funny because we thought that this very issue has all gone down and is being resurrected at a time when the U.S. president, Donald Trump, is actually moving for transparency and all of those things. Now, let me also say that in 2023, the court declined again even an emergency application seeking to compel these U.S. law enforcement agencies to hasten the release of this information before it even comes to the Nigerian Supreme Court. However, the three U.S. and show us details, not redacted information, but information that will clearly show that, yes, in as much Bola Tinubu was not neither indicted for this, that those money he returned was proceeds of, it's a drug-related proceeds. And heroin or cocaine, as the case might be. Nigerians just need closure on that. And as we move towards 2027, there are implications. We just need to understand it. There are implications in all of this. So let's just hold that there and continue to wait for what the DEA and the FBI is going to, come up with, so that we review it again and see if there is any issues that needs to be raised again, as 2027 is, fast approaching. Before you know it, we are already there. And by the way, I want to tell us that there is a hashtag we're going to start running on Active Citizens Parliament, which has to do with the hashtag of Fix INEC, you fix Nigeria. The moment you fix INEC, you fix Nigeria. And that is the mandate. 4 team will be collaborating with the Active Citizens to get petitions. We are looking for petitions for at least more than 5 million Nigerians to sign up petition for IREV to be part and parcel of our Electoral Act reform and all the others. It means that if you are a person who has gotten to the age of voting and you are desirous of your vote to count, whether starting with Anambra State coming election or with the 2027 election, you need to sign this petition by mandate form. And this very petition is simply to make sure that your vote counts. So we'll be starting that very program, and then we'll be giving you a link where you can actually go and sign up for this very petition so that it will go. Now, on a final note, I want to thank our viewers and again inform you that the national it's just now that they are displaying the Sam Ahmadi's issue. Okay, just for to mention it, the issue of the cables report on Tinubu's meeting of Mossad Bolos in France for security talks, according by the cable. Now, Sam Ahmadi, whom we know is from Abuja School of Thought, said that just for perspective, this U.S. top official is less than a director in a Nigerian ministry. So is it that Tinubu went outside of Nigeria to go and meet somebody in France who is less than a director in a ministry? I seriously will agree with the people who are saying that Tinubu did not go for an official visit. So that's out the way. Let me also inform us that up till now, we have not gotten reports about that certain vehicle of Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor's Hilux that was stolen by hoodlums in Abuja. I mean, how can a robber rob the main man, the man that is being guarded by, I don't know how many trucks that he walks around as army bodyguard? A brazen carjacking occurred in Abuja. Official vehicle of the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, was stolen during last Friday Juma prayers. Up till now, we have not gotten reports of that very vehicle being recovered. You can imagine that. If that is not brazen enough, a black Toyota Hilux parked opposite Abuja Municipal Area Council Complex in Area 10. It's just, I just want us to imagine where we have gotten ourselves into, that a National Security Advisor's vehicle was stolen in Abuja, where he went for prayers. What more can happen? We are also hearing again that another plateau attack did occur last night. And they said over 40 or over 20 people died again just last night. So when we say that Nigeria is in trouble, at least, the report says at least 47 persons were confirmed killed in fresh attack on Sunday night, yesterday's night, in Zike and Kimampa communities located in Kwali district of Basa local government area of Plateau State. Just a few days ago that His Excellency P2B went there to condole with the Bokos that losing more people. Now another one just happened few hours after His Excellency left. Well, let's just say that we are not just in a time bomb ticking, but Nigeria needs to take action. And that's why we say if we must fix Nigeria, then we need to fix INEC. We must fix INEC. If you say that Nigeria needs to work, then the idea is that you must fix INEC. And there is no other way to fix INEC other than from the National Assembly. And where does the National Assembly members derive their power? From the constituencies. So, we are saying these constituencies should file a petition. Sign up for your vote to count. It is when you have credible leadership, that is when you can say that things will go right in Nigeria. Without fixing INEC, you cannot fix Nigeria. Thank you all. That is as much as we take at this very time. Go to the comment section. Tell us what you think about Donald Trump's joining issues with this very Chief Bola Tinubu's old drug matter. Tell us what you think. Do you think it has any relevance into 2027? Do you think it is actually brought out again as a result of Chief Bola Tinubu, as a result of Donald Trump's assumption as the president of the United States? Or do you think that Biden would have brought that matter up again, or it would have just died a natural death? And if you're a Nigerian in the US, what are also your thoughts on this? In as much as we want closures, we also look at it from the perception of 2027. How does those things affect our system? Thank you, as we'll come back again. But do not fail to like and share so that other people will know what is going on. We will come back for more. Thank you very much. Bye for now.